NS Network. NS Network. Bahamas.
What's the secret of change? We don't fight the old. Instead, we focus on building the new. Welcome to the table of change. Come on in and have a seat at our table.
It's another Table of Change evening. It's Tuesday, the 10th of September, 2024. It's Table of Change tonight. I am so excited because this is going to be a very powerful night on Table of Change.
Jackie, it's another week. I can't believe it. I know we say it every week, guys, but another week. The hour goes by so quickly. So I urge you, write this number down, 325-5403, or toll free 300-8255, because you're going to want to call in once you hear the guests we have on tonight. Tonight, we have in studio with us Mr. Keith Ferguson. He was born on the 3rd of October, 1974 in Nassau, Bahamas, to the proud parents of Mr. Basil and Helen Ferguson. He is the husband of Mistress Aretha Ferguson, and he believes in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. Keith graduated from Aquinas College in 1992, and after about 7 years in the hotel industry, he decided to join the Royal Bahamas Police Force in 1999. He was posted at the East Street South Police Station for about 5 years before being posted to Security and Intelligence Branch, where he spent about 20 years. And then as the second officer in charge of the South Central Division, better known as the Grove. He is currently the officer in charge of the School Police Division. He has 25 plus years of stellar service within the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and his career has provided him with extensive training locally and internationally in investigation, community policing, VIP protection, security assessments, anti-terrorism, and personal protection and intelligence-led policing. He has provided personal protection for many foreign and local VIPs over the years and led numerous operations. During his journey in his noble organization, he has received medals for good conduct and long service and the Medal of Meritorious Service. Tonight, in studio, we have the well-known, well-respected Mr. Keith Ferguson.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Ferguson. I have to say, I was so impressed by your motto. And I really want you to share with us your motto. His motto is, "We are here to serve." What does that mean to you when you say, "We are here to serve"?
Well, firstly, I think it's a privilege and an honor to serve. And when one serves one country, serves the flag and country, that's the height of service. I believe that's if we get up every day and we say, who I'm going to serve today, the Bahamas would be a better place. The world would be a better place.
I totally agree, and that's why we have you here on Table of Change. Just to give you a little background about the show, it deals with customer service. But from customer service, we realize that all of us has an aspect in serving. So we talked about back to school. And from that back to school, we got a lot of questions from parents. And that's why we invited you on the show. Okay. A lot of parents are expressing to us their concern with the safety of the children for back to school.
Okay, and let me just first acknowledge the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Clayton Fernando. Also, my Assistant Commissioner, who has direct response for the School Policing Division, Dr. Charles Wadhana. He wanted to be here this evening, but something came up, so he apologized. And then I'd like to acknowledge the hard-working police officers, reserve police officers, the staff of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, my hard-working school resource officers who are dedicated to what they do, and by extension, all teachers, administrators, and staff to all the schools. Because here's it now. The Ministry of Education and School Policing Division, we work hand in hand together. Okay, it's one team, one unit to accomplish one goal. Okay, and our goal is firstly, we have three objectives from the school policing division. The first is providing a safe, secure, and stable environment on all campuses throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's our first objective. We assist the Ministry of Education with providing safe, secure, and stable learning environment on all school campuses.
Okay.
Our second objective would be we assist teachers and administration with positive youth engagement activities. Okay, this is our second objective. And our third objective would be the enforcement of any laws that may be breached on school campuses or surrounding areas. But before I go into my the three objectives and how we seek to keep the school compound secure, with it encompass students, our teachers, our administration, even our parents at times when they visit. I just want you to know that all school resource officers are internationally trained and internationally certified through NASRO, the National Association of School Resource Officers. Okay, and here's it now. This is a non-profit-based U.S. Organization whose sole purpose is to train law enforcement officers on how to best secure and keep safe campuses throughout the world. Okay, so we just can't take a police officer from the station or from the traffic division or from the mobile or any one of the specialty areas and put in the school. They must be internationally trained and certified NASRO. Okay, so that's the first thing I'd like to bring, to inform your listening and viewing audience. The way we keep our schools secured, we take a three-prong approach. We call it the concentric rings of security. When we look at the concentric rings of security, we basically break down the school compound, the environment, into three circles. We have the perimeter circle. We have the internal circle, and then you have the inner circle. So here's it now. When one look at the perimeter security, we're looking at everything from the school boundary of the school outward. So we're looking at the sidewalk, the streets, the business that would be in the area, the residences, the bushy area. Okay, so all that is the perimeter. And the first thing I always tell my officers, when you come to do your duties, come clean, come sharp, be in uniform. Because here's it, studies have shown that just the mere presence of an officer is a deterrence to crime in uniform.
I agree with that.
Okay? So just their mere presence, standing in front of the school, is a deterrence to crime. But here's it now. They're there, and they're there to ensure that security is in place. So they're inspecting the traffic flow. You may have some parents who have a tendency to speed through school zones.
So it's really now. It's really because I've been out the school for a little while. Mm-hmm. So what I'm gathering, you're saying that the officers that are there, they are in the same uniforms as our regular officers?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you said they're trained abroad?
They're trained, yes.
Are they trained here as well?
They're trained here. Sometimes we bring in the instructors, the international instructors. They come here.
Okay.
We have courses. And in some cases, we go abroad. Okay.
Okay. So you're saying now, at the schools, they're stationed there. Are they there all day? How is it?
Their shifts works are basically from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Okay, and like I said, their sole purpose is showing that the school compound is safe and secure. They assist the administration teachers with positive youth engagement activities, and then enforce the laws there.
That is great. That's really great.
Yes.
And you're saying that because I know when I would drop my kids to school, when I used to do that, there was a traffic jam and, you're trying to get to work. So you're saying that is no more. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying no more, but they try to limit or they assist with clearing up the traffic congestion. Yes. Also, sometimes parents, they may drop the students off in the middle of the road, which is a safety hazard. Okay. So here's it now. We encourage parents to pull into the school compound. They're pick up and drop off points. You know.
Man, it's really happening. Things are really changing. There's a question. Go ahead with the question.
Well, I just had a comment. I like how you said in terms of the uniform and keeping it pristine. I feel that that is essential in demanding the respect that the officer needs from the community, just looking at that uniform, because the amount of respect that he puts into that uniform makes us now give that officer that respect. So I really applaud you for saying that, Mr. Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am.
When you said that these officers are trained, now my thinking is, not everyone can be an educator. Not everyone has the capacity or the temperament maybe to work with children, because even though they're there to protect, there is going to be some type of interaction with the children. Does your training consist of anything that helps them able to interact with the children?
Yes, it does. Okay, and here's it now. And you're right on point, because you could have the training, but you still might not be the right fit at the schools.
Right.
So it's a process, whereas we do a process of elimination and see how they fit in, how they gel with the students, the teachers, the administration, the staff. So, so we do an evaluation process. It's not just clear cut. You have the training, but you must be the right fit. You must be able to communicate with the students. You must be able to communicate with the parents.
Yes.
Okay, the staff, and it's a team effort, because here's it now. You have the school resource officer, you have the security officers, you have the nurses, you have the administration, you have the teachers, you have the parents, you have the PTA. So it's not just a clear cut, just the students. No, you must be able to be flexible and be able to communicate and be able to, like I say, I tell my officers, I need you all to be officers that has answers to questions and solutions to problems.
That is what it's all about. That is what Table of Change is about. We saw a problem.
Yeah.
We saw a problem when it came to service.
Yes.
And this is the solution. This is going to work, because we're not going to stop. We're going to keep talking. We're going to sensitize people's mind.
Right.
We're going to get out there in the community. We're going to get out there in the business places.
Yes.
And we're going to do something. So I like that. I like exactly what you're doing. What I like what you said too, that every business place can take. Find out where the person fit.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you can't use them someplace on the force.
No.
But put them where they fit.
Yes.
Maybe they want to just take report. Maybe they're good at that.
Yes.
And that's really, really good.
Yes. And this is just being, like I say, people being versatile. And like I say, it's a multifaceted area. Because here's it now. Like I say, we move from the assessment of the perimeter. So here's you're looking at the businesses. So you must be able to be a community officer. Go and speak with the residents to find out what their concerns are. You must be able to go to the business establishments and find out what their concerns are. Sometimes you might need to advise them. Say, listen, I give you an example. We had a situation where I was doing check on one of my schools, and usually I try to go to one or two schools during the course of the week, sit down with the administration and staff, find out what the concerns are, find out how we can strategize and make things better. And I was about to leave around 10 a.m. in the morning, and the principal came out to me, and she beckoned to me, said, "Hey, Mr. Ferguson, I just got a call that we have a group of students in a barber shop." Wow. Okay. So I said now, so myself, the school resource officer, the principal, we jumped in my vehicle, we went to the location. So we got there about maybe 10:20 or so. This is a Monday morning now, 10:20 Monday morning. We have a barber shop with about 27 students in uniform. One barber. And here's it now, he's cutting their hair. So if you do the maths, you say 10 minutes for each haircut, and you times it by 25. Them stores are not going to end up to school.
That's the whole day.
Okay. But here's it now. He is looking at the monetary value. When I asked him, I said, "So where are your children?" He said, "My children in school."
Oh, my gosh.
When I asked the young person, the students, I say, "Where do any of your parents know that you all are here about 10:30 in the morning on a Monday morning getting a haircut?" Not one could answer, put up their hand and answer. In that case, the barber was, he was warned. That next time we put something in writing for his license to be suspended or he'd be put before the courts. But on the flip side, we have another barber store in the area, and he partnered with the school. And we have some of the students, they want to be professional barbers when they graduate. So what he did, with the parents' consent, 1 or 2 hours during the week, he allowed them to come to the school, to his barber shop, and he gave them introductory course in how to cut hair. And then 1 or 2 of the students he even hired during the summer.
Wow.
So some cases we just need to educate the business owners. Some cases the persons who live in the area,
Yes.
the do's and don'ts. Because during school hours he wants the children in school.
What I'm noticing is once people see that you're checking,
Yes.
they will do the same, even in the business place. So we need to get the phone numbers. Let them know you're responsible.
Yes.
You're an adult. You're responsible for these kids. Here's a phone number. Put it around where they can call.
Yes.
Call us. Tamara, you're looking at me. I know that you have a question.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm wondering, from the relationship that the officers were able to create with the students, could you give us a little idea of maybe a case that was solved or something you were able to prevent in the school from the outcome of that relationship between the officer and the students?
Well, I don't want to go into specific details, but I would say that because of interaction with students, we are able to get, we call it intelligence, okay, in reference to maybe places who may be selling drugs in the area, maybe have a weapon, okay, and you had students who have turned in maybe ammunition, okay, they found it, and they found it and they turned it in. And we had one particular case, I'm not going to call the school or where it was found, but here's it now. We had a young student, young lady. She found a bullet, and she turned it into the office. And we were so proud of her, So we got together, we called her parents, we got a certificate from the Commissioner of Police, signed by the Commissioner of Police, thanking her for what she did.
Yes.
We also got a little package. We found out what she liked from her parent, her mom, some coupons. She said she likes the Starbucks and some other stuff. So, and we told her, look, you did the right thing. A lot of times, we tend to magnify the negative.
Yes.
And I think we need to get away from that. Because we have a lot of youths who are engaged in positive things, positive youth engagements. They're doing the right thing. But they say bad news sells. I don't know why they say that, but bad news sells. And so here's it now. The little spot on the white coat, we focus on the little spot on the white coat, but not the whole white coat.
The whole coat.
Yeah, the whole coat. I know, but because of relationships, and life is about relationships. Because of the relationships as I have with the students, with the parents, not only the students, but the parents, the teachers, the staff, the administration, we are able to assist with fighting crime.
Yes.
They trust us. We have a relationship.
Yeah, relationship is the key.
Yes.
And tell me about if I'm driving with an empty car. It's just me alone, and there's some students maybe waiting on the bus stop, and I know the uniform, so I know where they're going. Is it wise for me to give them a ride? Tell me what I should do.
It's something called stranger danger. And I think I sent yourself and Tamara some information via WhatsApp, some flyers, safety tips. And one of the things called stranger danger. We discourage young persons from taking rides or anything from a stranger. Okay, because it can put them in a precarious
for
position.
them as well.
Yeah,
yes.
and listen, the flip side of it too. Yes, you may have good intentions. You may want to assist the young persons, but here's it now: you put them in your vehicle, and they come out and say, "But you touched them inappropriately." We got to have a conversation with you.
But if you know them from the area and they know you, is there any?
Well, I'll say have conversation with their parents.
Yeah, before
The parents should be involved. Any type of decision making. Yeah, you shouldn't take it upon yourself to say I'm going to do this and do that without the parents' involvement.
Right.
If you say you know the parents, you should have their number. Call them. Say, look, I see your children on the bus stop.
That is good to know.
You have any issue with me giving them a ride? Because that'll be another issue now. You put them in your car
and something happens.
what? You have some serious
That's
problem.
another issue. So Bahamas, listen, we want to be kind to these kids. We want to give them a ride. But if something happens, you need to have that permission.
Yes.
If something happens, it kind of reminds me
that's
how, like,
paramount.
the police car says no riders.
Yes, yes.
You
It's
know,
for a
private
reason.
it's for a reason.
Yes, yes.
Really, really for a reason. That's really good. Tamara?
Jackie, the next question she's asking, I'm summarizing it for you. She has a 14-year-old son who she suspects of smoking marijuana. Is this something she can call the station and maybe have someone come and speak to him, or how would the police force be able to assist with something like that?
We are always willing to assist in that regard. We need to speak to a young person who may be having some challenges. Then we have other institutions. You know, we call it public-private partnership. A lot of our public partners, social services, Ministry of Health,
Right.
where we could get additional help for the individual, you know. But we could come and we could render some assistance, we could come and speak, but it might need to bring in experts because it might be a situation when they're addicted. And like I tell, you know, a lot of the parents, you know, addiction, when you think addiction, you're all speaking drugs, marijuana or some sort of drugs or alcohol. But then, you know, we have a lot of young persons, they're addicted to these games.
They're
You know,
addicted to these games.
Yeah, the music. And you was the average, the phones. Okay?
Yes.
So, you know, a lot of cases we speak about addiction. And we always tend to think about marijuana, the drugs, alcohol, you know, maybe the cigarette, whatever the case may be. But these phones, you know, young people are addicted. Games, the music. Yeah. And you was to sit down as a parent and calculate the hours they spend on these, on the tablets or laptops. The reality is it's not healthy. A young person really can't function. Yeah. You know, back in the day, and I'm not that old, but back in the day, we didn't have all this distraction. You had to focus to study. So imagine now, you know, at the touch of your hand, you could be around the world, you know.
And I'm thinking now about phones. Parents today, we feel like phone is a necessity for the children to take to school. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking maybe it helps after school. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do you know if they allow that from?
Well, to my knowledge, schools are not allowed on the school compound. But here's it now. It was a situation where the parent go and speak with administration. They could keep the phone for the student until after school.
That
Okay.
is just like the best thing to do.
Yeah. But here's it now. These phones, you know, it's a two-edged sword. It's very good, some good uses. But on the flip side, you get some very negative stuff come out of using these phones. Yeah. And I always tell person, you know, we spend thousands of dollars, right? And we get the high-tech surveillance system, the high-tech alarm system, and the floodlights in the yard, and the security screen doors and windows, and the high gate, and the Rottweiler or the pit bull dog for safety, security. Right. But here's it now. Your child who's in a safe environment, your home, is now FaceTiming, walking around. The predators have access to your whole house. They can see what's in your house. Okay? FaceTime.
Okay. I break that, say that again for me now.
Okay, here's it now. Parents would spend thousands of dollars to secure the physical building, the residence.
Right.
From the property, the high gate, the alarm system, the floodlights, the security trains, the security door, the dogs in the yard. Thousands of dollars.
Right.
But here's it, your child will have access to this phone, right? He could be speaking to a predator online.
Okay.
FaceTiming, walking around your home.
And he can see scoping it out.
He can see everything in your home. Likewise, the same predator, your child that's in a safe environment. From a security point, we call it a hard environment. The child is taken from a hard environment into a soft environment. Because here, they could call him out of that house, out of that yard that's secured. the predator. So a lot of instances, I think parents, they need to really monitor these phones. Okay, whether you have some sort of restriction, whether you have some sort of time limit on the phones. Okay, so if a child, okay, say you give the child your phone for after school, so you can communicate in case they need to get in contact with the parent. So they're home now in the house, so what's the use of the phone now?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be studying?
So they have that phone because they telling mommy I won't carry my phone. Because all the kids back in the day when we didn't have the phone, and now they have police officer there a certain time. I think there's security there. You know, your children are protected at school. They have a phone that they can use. It's really not that important.
Yes.
But we make these things important.
Yes.
Tamara?
But I have a question for you, Superintendent Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am.
The parent concern is regarding edibles. But before we get into that, I have to take a break right now. But I encourage you guys to call 325-5403. We have in studio Superintendent Keith Ferguson. And when we get back from the break, he's going to get into edibles.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Whatever should be expected of an insurance company is exactly what you'll find at Harvest Insurance Brokers. And right now is a great time to sign up for automobile, home, group, or life insurance policies. But at this moment, what's really amazing is their newly introduced National Workers Healthcare Insurance Plan, which is a strong and concise medical package designed for retirees or those entering retirement, starting from as low as $275 per month. Harvest Insurance Brokers, located Dowsville and Armstrong Street. Dial 326-808445.
Quality in a service is not what you put into it. It is what customers get out of it. And Table of Change gives us customer service at its finest.
To sponsor Table of Change, I need you to reach out and call 449-9106. Table of Change is a show geared around customer service and how we are of service to others. For sponsorship, 449-9106.
Tune in to Tamara Fox-Smith and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie for Table of Change. Table of Change, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on the National Voice of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to Table of Change. Tamara, edibles, let's go on.
Thank you so much for tuning back in. Remember that number to call is 325-5403. And Superintendent Ferguson, her question regarding edibles, she said that she's very new to this whole edibles thing. And she wants to know, how is it that the children are thinking it's candy, or are they innocently thinking it's candy? And how harmful are these edibles to the children?
Well, it could be very harmful because, a lot of cases they're you call it synthetic drugs, unknown chemicals that make up these edibles. But the criminal element, they're very crafty in the way they go about designing the packages. It's almost like sometimes a knockoff to just the basic candy that's out there. Okay, the packaging, but you gotta scrutinize the packages. Look at the THC content label. Okay, sometimes it'll be a close spelling to the original product. Okay, incorrect brand names. Okay, it might even have the marijuana leaf on it. Okay, you gotta look at all this stuff. Let's examine the packages closely, very, very closely. And the THC content label, So it's these criminals are very crafty, and we got to be, as parents, as guardians, we got to be on top of our games to ensure that our children, our students don't ingest these or be in possession of these type of edibles.
Because we really have to remember, we are smarter than these criminals. We're not going to let them take over, not of our kids. What about the bag check? What's going on with that?
Well, we do random checks. The officers assist with that. And like I tell persons, keeping the the school campuses safe, secure. That's our number one function. So anything we consider that should not be on the school campuses, we call that contraband. Okay? And that could be anything from a knife, which is illegal, to a phone, a tablet, which is not allowed. Okay? It could even be some kind of students may have a change of clothing stash somewhere around the perimeter. Okay? So we just try and make sure that's for everyone's safety. To keep everybody secure, we might do assist with random checks. And I like to tell persons, the majority of our students are positive, upright, focused young persons, and it's only the small percentage,
Wow.
But here's it now: we cannot allow, just hypothetically speaking, the 2% to hold the 98% hostage. Okay? And this is my personal view now. I believe it's a crime against the community when you allow 2% to hold 98% hostage. Because here's it now. Those 98% students are coming to school, they're coming to school, they're learning their work, they're abiding by the rules and regulations of the school. The parents are sacrificing every day. Yes. Some of them are working 2 jobs.
Yes.
Okay, they're spending money to make sure that the students are in uniform. They have the correct textbooks. They have PE gear. All this costs money.
Yeah, we go without. We have to go without.
They
sometimes.
sacrifice. Some cases, if the parents don't have the money, they get up early and make lunch. They make the breakfast, they make the lunch. You don't can't, but you don't make it deals, but you gotta go and actually make it. So all the investment these 98% of the parents are doing, should that be done in vain?
No.
Okay, so that's my viewpoint on that.
With the schools that we're talking about, is it just the government school that you?
Okay, I'll give you a breakdown.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so here's it now. The breakdown: we are in all the government schools. So we look at New Providence. We have 8 junior high schools, 8 senior high schools. Okay, that's a total of 16. So we have SRO officers in all those schools. When we look at government primary schools, they are split up in the Western and Eastern District. So in the Western District, we have about 12 primary schools. In the Eastern District, we have 10 primary schools. So that's 22. Okay. So, but here's it now. We don't have enough officers to go to all the primary schools. So we have officers assigned to make periodical check.
In the area.
So some officers have the Western District to check on. The other one have the Eastern District. So in New Providence alone, we have roughly about 38 schools, if my maths is correct. About 38 schools. If we move to the Family Islands, the breakdown, we call it the Northern Region, which consists of Grand Bahama, which has 4 schools, Abaco, which has 3 schools, and Bimini, which has 1 school. So that's 8 schools in the Northern Region of Bahamas. And then the other family of islands, we have about 17 schools. And if my math is correct, again, that's gives us the numbers of maybe 25 schools. And in the Family Islands and the Northern Region, we have school resource officers, but they are complemented by our urban renewal officers. In Grand Bahama, that team is led by Assistant ASP Leo, that'll be Cooper.
Okay.
Yes.
So I guess it's no officers in the private schools.
No, but we do have a relationship with private schools.
Okay.
And we do make periodical checks. And if they have any concerns, we try to have that open door relationship. Also, we also monitor special interest schools. We have like the Boys and Girls Industrial, TAPS, the SHORE program. Okay, so we do monitor the special interest schools as well.
I have someone on the line that's asking about the police are your friends. I remember that.
Yes,
the police are.
yes.
She said, where did that go?
You sell your friends all day, every day.
We don't hear it much. I think, did you do some summer camp?
We had a summer camp back in the day. That was the slogan back in the day. But the police will always be the public's friend.
That was really good.
That's really good, yes.
So if you're going to lose that one, that means you have to get another slogan.
Yes. It's almost
You
like
know-
it's better in Bahamas.
Yeah. You know, a friend of mine at a primary school, she was asking me, well, she did say, "Man, we need the commissioner of police to come around to these schools." And she did mention that. So can they, if not the commissioner of police, how can they request? Because she said that even the little kids, they're carrying on with some things that are not acceptable in the schools.
Yeah, but
just to come and speak with them, because the uniform.
the reality is that we represent the commissioner of police.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Each of the school resource officers, we are there in the capacity of the commissioner of police, and we are there to carry out his mandate.
That's right.
Yes, and so we there, and we there present, we there in uniform, and we there to assist.
So if they need someone to speak, I could have them to call.
They can call the school policing office. The numbers would be 322. 4040 326 1105.
So there you go. 322-4040 326-1105. That will be the numbers that you call, and when you need, if you need someone to come and speak to the school, because when you open your mouth, little children, they're like, they listen.
But let me say this too. We are in direct communication with the administration, also the guidance counselors, and from time being they invite us to come and speak with the students.
Yes.
The school resource officers, daily, sometimes weekly, they have interaction where they go and they speak to the individual classes, sometimes the assembly at the various schools. So there's something we do daily.
Okay, remember listeners, 325-5403. That's the number I want you to call tonight, 325-5403. Tamara, I don't want to take it over.
Superintendent, what piqued you, or what inspired you, or what made you answer the charge to go from the hotel industry to the police force?
Very good.
Well, like I said, I spent 7 years in the hotel industry, and I was saving persons from all around the world. And back in the hotel industry, they had this program called the Yes I Can attitude. I don't know if you're familiar with the Yes I Can attitude, and it teaches you basically the key point is that it taught you that you never end in a negative. So if a guest came and asked if you had something in the restaurant or at the bar, even though you don't have it, you tell them, well, excuse me, sir or madam, I'll do my best to see if we have it someplace else and go get it.
Wow.
So you end in the positive. So even if you come back without it, the guest feel that he went the extra mile to see if they had it, And so here's it now. So I went from serving my foreigners to now serving my country.
That's right. We're going to take this caller. We don't want to have her holding on too long, Mr. Ferguson. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening to everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just heard what one of the hosts tonight mentioned, the police are my friends, or the camp that used to happen under the title, the police are my friends. I don't know if that was fully discontinued or if there's another initiative that the police have today. But I just want to say I can recall in my childhood, I'm in my early 30s now, but that was one of my first interactions with the police. And I just think it was such a positive initiative because it gave you an opportunity to really humanize police officers and to know that they mean well, that they're regular people, they're persons that you can confide in them, you can speak to them, that they like to have fun and have a good time. It really just kind of humanized police officers, and I just think that was such a good program because it made an impact on me, and I'm sure many others. Because in today's society, even without a young child ever having an interaction with a police officer because of social media sometimes and what's being taken in from their surroundings, they automatically just villainize police officers. So I just wanted to say, I think that that was an awesome program and it would be really beneficial back in the community.
Okay, thank you. I mean, that's excellent. We still get this initiative going on right now as you speak. We have our urban renewal office. They are in each community. They're engaged with positive youth engagement activities with the students daily, weekly, on the weekends, through the week. My officers, likewise, they're engaged daily through the week. During the summer, we had a 2-week, we call it the Second Chance program, okay? And where some, I say, at-risk students who need a little more direction, who we identify maybe have a little one, we took them in for 2 weeks. And here's it now. We partnered with some of our private partners. And for the 2 weeks, we had a number of motivated speakers came in, okay, including police officers. Speak on various topics, conflict resolution, the point of making the right choice, bullying, bullying is big now, and we found out that a lot of cases, you get the physical bullying, you get the verbal bullying, you get the social bullying, but a lot of cases it stems from the cyber bullying. Yes. Okay, so we had a number of speakers came in. We took the young persons on a number of field trips, and I just like put this plug in for 2 of our private partners. The Atlantis Resort, they partnered with us, and we took about 50 plus kids over to Atlantis for a day, and you call it Jungle in Paradise. They were able to see the show. They were able to go behind the scenes of what's going to happen at Atlantis. So here's it now: you get young persons, seeing persons like themselves, who are in leadership positions. Okay. They're able to sort of see the dolphins, the sea lions, see what happened behind the scenes at the aquariums. Okay, meet persons and speak and talk. And also the Nassau cruise sport. Okay, their team there is excellent. They rolled the red carpet for us, so they gave us a complete tour. And, so we partner in. So when they had them to the police force, had them on our marine support, they were on the boats. As far as Bahamas and back, around Paris Island. So, toward the fire services department, CCTV department, the whole compound of headquarters. Okay, so we partnered, and like I said, this was a 2-week full intense program. Wow. Where we interacted with them every day. And we provided breakfast, we provided lunch, and it was a very, very good experience. At the end of the 2 weeks, some of the parents wanted to know if we had another week or two coming.
So I thank you so much, caller. It was really nice to have you call in, but just let me say this to you. I can hear it right now, the commissioner saying, the police are your friends, man.
Yes,
So I think we just need to hear it a little bit more. We don't want that slogan to go.
Yes. Okay.
So because kids like to hear that.
Yes.
The police are your friends. So we really need to remember that. And I'm going to put in a plug for you to tell the commissioner, please, let's hear that more. Tamara?
That is needed. Superintendent Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am.
On every job, there's a frustration, right? And I'm wondering, you being in charge of the school police division, what is something we can do better as the parents or as the customer of the police? Like, what is something that you hear with your division, your police officers, that is frustrating, that may just be a small thing that we as the parents may need to tweak when we're sending our kids to the school and the officers are there?
Well, that's an excellent question, okay? And let me first say this now. I want to believe that discipline starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
Before a child or a student is introduced into the community, it could be the church, it could be the neighbor down the road, it could be the school, okay, it could be in the community. That discipline starts home. Okay, that's the first thing, and that's the foundation.
That is.
Before the teachers or the administration or the nurses or who are at the school or the guidance counselor could build on that foundation, it did start home. Okay, and that's the first thing. I also believe that, back in the day they used to say, do as I say and not as I do.
That's not going to work.
That era is over.
That's not going to work.
That is done with, okay? Whatever a child sees, he's going to imitate. What he hears, he's going to say. Whatever mannerism he sees his parent or guardian portray, that's what he's going to do. Okay, so let's become parents of something positive. Discipline starts home. I think we need to. I think that's the key thing there.
And I think I listened to the late Dr. Miles Monroe, and he said, anything you listen to more than 6, 7 times, it becomes a part of your heart, and not the heart in your chest.
Heart, your mind.
It goes down in your heart, and so we really have to be careful what these children see. And I don't want to. We know that all the homes do not have a foundation for their children. We know that. But kids, we are not going to give up on you, because if you don't get it at home, the teachers, they're going to try to give it to you at school. Yes. The police are going to try to give it to you, because when kids, they know where they feel love.
Yes. Love is action word.
Yes. And so when the kids are not getting that at home and you give it to them at school, they're going to share some things with you. And then you get to know more about them. And then it moves on to social service. And then we move on to protecting those children. Yes. And then we move on to building a better future for the Bahamas. Okay. That's just the way it is.
Yes.
And I can also talk about, tell me about the kids. I see kids playing basketball in the back of the police station. How did that come about? How is it helping?
Well, the police stations are a part of the community. So we would want to engage the community in positive youth engagement activities, which may be basketball, which may be even organizing a party. Sometimes during Christmas, I know back in the day when I used to work at South Beach, every year we had a Christmas party for the less privileged kids.
Wow.
The children in the area, And it's all about partnership.
Yes.
And for that to happen, we partnered with the business establishment within the area, sometimes public, sometimes the parents. Everyone bring a gift, and it's for just a cause for the less privileged.
Wow.
And I even remember we used to have a prayer breakfast every month at the station.
Wow.
Where all the pastors within the area would come to the station, and we would have prayer service at the station.
Yeah.
This was back in the day, and we used to do it.
We gotta do it again.
Yeah. We could, but this was all about.
Yes.
We are part of the community, and it's no distinction between the police and we are part of the community.
Yeah.
We are here to serve the community.
Listen, when I see a police, even when I see the flashing of the lights, I'm like, yes, I just love. I got stopped by a police officer. And he was respectful. And I said, why is he stopping me? I am in order. What's he stopping me for? Then I realized my lights was not on.
Okay.
And he said, oh, you saw it, Adrian? Really? So we police officer, we respect you, but we need you to respect yourselves. Respect the uniform. Because guess what? The police officer comes out of the community.
Yes.
What are we going to do?
Yeah, but it comes to self-pride and, like I say, respect. Well, when I put on this uniform, I consider it to be a privilege and an honor. Okay? And it's a uniform of service.
It's of service.
Not entitlement.
Yes.
But it's of service. And like I say, it's no higher service than serving your one's country. And that's what it's all about. And making the Bahamas safe.
Yes.
And I like to just divert just a little, and when you're talking about youths, and you I think you had a point a couple sentences ago where you what we put into the children is very important. And if a student is exposed or a child is exposed to violence, they're hearing violence with the rap, the music they listen to, they're watching it on the movies they see.
Yeah.
If they're playing it on these real shooter games, then they be a product of violence.
Yes.
But here's it now. We change that, and we teach them how to communicate. You say conflict resolution, but you got to be taught how to communicate.
Yes.
So here's it now. We're going from a student of violence to a student of a great communicator. Okay? If we teach them how to be passionate,
Yes.
and they're looking for their fellow brother or sister. We'll have compassionate students, young persons, and that's I think the direction we need to do. We need to pour more positively into our young persons.
Yes. We have another caller. This is so great. Caller, we can hear you. We're listening.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey, good night. Yeah, I'm just calling in to find out, right, if any initiatives in place for people of different ethnicities in the school. Well, you know what I'm trying to say or who I mean it, because it seems to be like a big turf war going on right now, and I don't know if the police are aware of what's going on in these schools. Among some Bahamian and different nationalities.
But
that was one question I wanted to raise.
Okay, here's it now, and you are hitting the nail on the head again. If we pour division into our youths, that's what they can give us back. So, as responsible adults, we need to pour in them unity, oneness. Our program, we had persons from different backgrounds, whether it be two persons who would follow the Rastafarian religion. One or two may be persons of different nationalities. But here's it now. When they join our program, we say, listen here now. We is one family, we is one team. There's no division. Okay? And that's what our children or our students are doing is what we're pouring into them as a community. So we need to correct that. We need to pour positively, and we need to pour us being one. There's no distinction. We get into the same school. We live in the same area. We go to the same food store. It's so. I was down in Abaco after Dorian in 2019, September, and everybody had to pull together. There wasn't no, it wasn't no running water. It wasn't no electricity at certain points until we got established. But everyone had to work together. Okay, and that's what we need to do. We need to work together. Not one religious group, not one community has all the answers. But if we pull our resources together, there's no question we can't answer. There's no solution we can't solve. But we got to work together.
So, what I got from that is that let's let the children hear from home.
Yes.
That you're not better than Peter.
No.
Peter's not better than Paul. Paul ain't better than Sue.
Yes.
Let them hear it from there.
Yeah. Yes.
And that would stop the separation.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah. And when they reach to the schools or when they reach in to speak with the police, we send the same message. If all of us are sending the same message, they have no choice but to replicate and give back what we give them.
And thank you so much, caller. And what I would say here, the number, the 322-4040, if you know of anything that's brewing up,
let us know, please.
Call and let them know. So, because we want to prevent some things. So, again, 322-4040 and 326-1105. Yes. Call the number if you hear about anything, if you see anything. They want to solve things before it happens.
Yes. And I tell persons, we could do police, we could do our mobile patrols, we could do our foot patrols, we could do our surveillance. But here's it now. The police can't be everywhere at one time, but the community is.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you, listen, you know what? The uniform might not be there, but let's be police out of uniform.
Yes.
Yeah, let's be police out of uniform. Let's do our job. Let's see and let's report.
Yes.
Let's get it done, Tamara.
We have one question, Jackie. She's been waiting for a while now, but I do apologize, Superintendent. We have about 3 more minutes to wrap this up, but please answer her question. She's very concerned. She's only ever attended private school. Okay. And now she's faced with the financial difficulty with her son. And she thinks she's being forced to put him into public school. How safe is our government schools?
The schools are very safe. I'm a product of the government schools. The schools are safe. Okay? No school has don't have its challenges.
because private school have some as well.
Every school has its challenges, but how are we working together to solve these challenges and come up with solutions? But the schools are safe. The stats from last year, incidents are down in schools compared to this year. Last year, I think like 17%. Okay, so the schools are safe. And just like say going in and parents being a part of what's going on in the school. The PDAs are very important.
Yes.
The PDAs are very important. It sets the mood for the schools. It's that extra support for the administration and the teachers. Parents need to come out and be supportive,
Yeah, and I would say to that parent, I don't know how old the child is, but once you have instilled in that child the do's and the don't, and you communicate with him after school, I think he'll be safe. If something is going on, if he knows to tell you, you have the same number that you can call. You can speak with the teachers. And so I think it will be safe.
And our school resource officers are in the schools.
Right.
They're in the schools. You can reach out and touch them.
Wow. I want to bring it back to the schools. It's concerning parents. The way I've seen it when I had to pick up my kids, how parents dress when they have to come to the school for the children, the dress code. Can we put a dress code?
Well,
what can we do to help that?
Everything starts at home.
Yeah, but do they have, maybe if you're not dressed properly, you should not be allowed to come in there.
I think, see, here's it now. That's where education and sometimes just bringing in having conversation. You come to the PTA meeting and say, listen to your parents, we are encouraging you all to come dress appropriately when you come. That's where conversation comes in. That's where communication comes in. And that's why I say everybody needs to be a part, okay? And you got to have conversations. And, I could disagree with Tamara or Jacqueline and still don't have get into a rage or get violent, okay? But sometimes points might just need a little help because here's it. Some cases, some people, that's the environment they grow up in, so they don't see nothing wrong with it. And sometimes you might just need it in love now.
Yes.
In love, not to say disrespect the person or to show the person, but in love, you pull them on the side and say, listen, man, you come in, I think you could put on a little more clothing,
Yeah, because...
But the person got to feel like it's out of love,
Yes. As if I were a principal, I would get that parent number, the child, and I out of love, I would have a conversation, and letting her know. Let's try to, for the kids' sake, let's try to do it better tomorrow.
Superintendent Ferguson, we just, on behalf of Table of Change, we would just like to thank you for coming on the show and just reminding us that, the police is our friend and your motto. We are here to serve. So we thank you for taking the time to come out. It was a very informative conversation and just a reminder of the job that the police is doing within the school that, we as Bahamians, we from Table of Change, we thank you for it. And we may not get to say it often, but we do appreciate it.
Yes.
If you want to close out, you have 1 more minute. You can close out for me. Anything you feel like the Bahamian people must hear at this time?
All I would like to say is that I go back to the old African proverb which speak to taking a village to raise a child. The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas is part of the village.
Yes.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force is part of it. The Ministry of Education is part of the village. Our public-private partners, our parents, our guardians, we all are part of the village. Let's continue to build our youth and pour positively into them for a better and a brighter tomorrow, a better, brighter Bahamas. Thank you.
Don't forget, Table of Change is a part of that village. I'm Jacqueline Fernanda Moxie.
Table of Change is a part of the village.
Tamara Fox.
See you next week on Table of Change.
Yeah.
Have a great evening.